अपने विवेक में ये सोचा कि इसके ऊपर अध्यादेश जारी किया जाए। पर जैसे वित्त मंत्री जी ने कहा कि अध्यादेश किसी भी कानून को बनाने की पहली पौड़ी होती है। अगर इसमें किसी के कोई सुझाव है, क्योंकि ये सदन के पटल के ऊपर रखा जाएगा, इसके ऊपर बहस होगी, अगर किसी के कोई सुझाव होंगे तो सरकार रचनात्मक तरीके से उन सुझावों पर गौर करेगी और जो भी संज्ञान में लेना जरूरी होगा उसको हम जरूर संज्ञान में लेंगे।
बदलाव को लेकर संकेत दिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, आपको लगता है जुवेनाइल एक्ट में भी बदलाव की जरूरत है?
देखिए, उच्चतम न्यायालय जब भी किसी मामले के ऊपर विचार करता है उसके ऊपर अनावश्यक टिप्पणी सरकार की तरफ से नहीं होती। उच्चतम न्यायालय अपना काम कर रहा है और जहां तक सरकार का सवाल है, सरकार ने वो सिफारिशें जिनके ऊपर एक आम सहमति थी उनको एक अध्यादेश के माध्यम से जारी किया है। अगर इसके ऊपर और कोई विचार होंगे, जैसे मैंने पहले कहा, सरकार रचनात्मक तरीके से इस पे गौर करने के लिए तैयार है।
Let me just add, on some of these rather difficult issues, just as one section or one group of persons hold a strong opinion, there is a opposite opinion held by another set of persons or another section. It's not as though there is complete unanimity on the issues on which we have not yet taken a decision. So while we will carefully listen to those who support certain recommendations, we would also have to carefully listen to those who have a different view. That is why, as I said, on some of the more difficult issues, I'm not calling them contentious, they are more difficult issues, I think there will be ample opportunity when the bill is in Parliament.
Sir, Justice Verma wanted marital rape to be criminalized, the offence to be an offence like any other case of rape. Now, your ordinance separates marital rape. It says under separation there will be a lesser sentence of 7 years, while it is not an offence if the couple is living together. So don't you think this was a very conservative view that the government has taken, because that is the international law?
No, please. Justice Verma Committee's report wanted a change in the present law. That is, even within an existing marriage, there can be a concept of quote-unquote marital rape. That's a difficult issue on which we have to hear everybody. We'll have to hear views of everybody. There's no universality about that principle. So what we have done is taken it one step forward by saying, if the husband and wife are separated, and then if there is sexual intercourse or any sexual act without consent, that would be punishable. But where the a marital relationship exists, whether we should take the further step that Justice Verma has recommended, as I said, will be debated. It's a matter for debate. Just as there is an opinion in favor of defining marital rape in the terms that Mr. Justice Verma's committee has done, there is another opinion which says it should not be done. So these have to be carefully considered.
Sorry, one more. What happens to the point where Justice Verma says sexual harassment at workplaces? The bill should be amended, which is already there in Parliament.
See, that is a separate bill. So the minister concerned will consider that part of the report when that bill is taken up in Parliament. In fact, there are many other recommendations of the Justice Verma Committee which don't quite impinge upon either the Indian Penal Code or the CRPC or the Indian Evidence Act. They concern some other acts. They will be examined. What we are trying to do is, since he gave his report in 30 days and advised that we should act promptly and make an ordinance, we have tried to act promptly and make a law on the basis of the broadest consensus possible today. On some other aspects, we will work towards a very broad consensus and bring about changes.
Nothing has been rejected as far as even as the politicians being barred from contesting elections, if Congress court has taken cognizance.
Let me repeat, I was on the cabinet. I had seen the ordinance when it was being drafted. As I understand it, nothing has been rejected. We may not have yet incorporated it, but nothing has been rejected.
So BJP leader has demanded immediate fast-track court to try MP and MLAs who have sexual harassment cases against them. Do you think it's an idea that can be worked upon?
A fast-track court is a fast-track court, and fast-track courts have been set up. In Delhi alone, several fast-track courts have been set up after the horrific incident of last month. Now, whether the accused is an MP or an ordinary citizen, I suppose if he is brought before a fast-track court, the fast-track court will act according to its name, a fast-track court, and deal with the case on a fast track.
You may call it a typical question from media, but I would like to ask, this bill is related to Ministry of Home Affairs, and before that also, during the Verma committee, the process in 1 month, you were the minister who was in touch with Justice Verma committee and not Mr. Shinde. So what is the reason? You are in this time when budget is being prepared and you are so busy, so you are taking the double responsibility of this.
As I said, I would like you to deal with this issue with the utmost seriousness and sensitivity. Nevertheless, since you have asked the question, I respect your question. I happen to be the chairman of the GOM media. The GOM media speaks on behalf of the government, and therefore my colleague, Mr. Tiwari, and I are here to speak to you. I hope you have no objection to my speaking to you. There is one question I wanted to ask.
Yes, ma'am. Just coming.
Justice Verma committee was very clear when it came to a very strict provision to deal with rarest of the rare cases. And they said that maximum punishment of 20 years and leading up to full life imprisonment for all rape assaults, which leads to either murder or leaves the victim in a vegetative state. Now, you have gone beyond, and you have, the cabinet has agreed the demand of many sections of the Indian society that death penalty should be given. I just want to ask you, why do you think that it is necessary, and don't you think that this will, in a way, also leave rape victims in future to a much more brutal assault, because no rapist would like to leave women alive, because he would know that in that case he would be in deep trouble.